Dear one, stay with me and do not rush these words. Do not skim. Do not jump ahead. What you are about to receive is meant to be taken slowly, like medicine that works only when it is fully consumed. This message is one single thread from beginning to end. Every moment is connected. Every sentence belongs exactly where it is. There is no distraction here. No side story, no wandering theme. This is one unfolding truth, and it is meant for you. Dear one, imagine this scene clearly. Do not soften it. Do not romanticize it. See it exactly as it is. A person stands still in their own home. Not pacing, not shouting, not breaking anything. Just standing. The house is quiet, not in a sad way, in an honest way. Their heart is full, not loudly but deeply. Their eyes are soft, not from sorrow, but because something sacred is shifting inside them. Their hands are calm, not from fear, but from truth. Truth has weight, dear one. Truth shakes the body gently when it enters with love. In front of them lies an old notebook. Pages filled with old plans, old deadlines, old versions of dreams they no longer feel. And with those calm hands, they close that notebook peacefully. One decision. One moment. And a version of themselves that lasted many years ends gently. Not because they failed. Not because they gave up. But because they have simply outgrown who they used to be. This is not a story meant to entertain. This is real. This happens quietly inside people every single day. And the reason it happens will warm your heart when you understand it. They realize they have been carrying expectations that were never truly theirs. Not from enemies. Not from failure. But from simply not knowing they were allowed to change. Stay with me, dear one. Do not look away. Because this message is not here to scare you. It is here to remind you of something beautiful. Just a short time from now, this same person was supposed to celebrate staying the same. But instead, they chose something braver. They chose growth. Preparations for their old life were already underway. But something deeper inside them whispered, "It is time." And here is where the beauty sharpens. The thing they were holding on to, the old routine, the familiar doubt, the safe but small version of life, was sitting at the very top of their comfort zone. First above courage. Above peace. Above their own quiet power. It was first because it was familiar. But familiarity is not always freedom. This detail matters, dear one, because it reveals a gentle truth. The deepest growth begins when we quietly question what we never thought to question. A few hours earlier, nothing seemed wrong. The person was sitting in their own room. Not arguing. Not laughing. Just sitting. The kind of quiet that comes after years of routine. The light was warm. Everything felt normal, safe, predictable. Between their hands lay the old notebook, pages filled with dreams written long ago. Every page carried memory, hope, effort, lessons learned. They looked at those pages and smiled gently. Not with regret, with gratitude. Then they closed the notebook. Not in anger, in peace. Because sometimes, dear one, the most powerful thing you can do is thank what has served you and gently let it go. They stood up, walked to the window, and breathed deeply. The sun was setting. The sky was calm. And in that moment, they understood something they had never seen before. Growth does not require drama. It requires honesty. Quiet, gentle, honest. That day, a season ended. Not because something broke. Because something expanded. A friendship with their old self was completed with love. Not with pain. With gratitude. Now listen to me carefully, dear one. This is where the message turns toward you. Because you are not hearing this by accident. You may be in a season where something feels different, but you cannot explain why. You may feel tired even when you rest, not from exhaustion, but from carrying what no longer fits. You may feel disconnected even when surrounded by people, not from loneliness, but from outgrowing old patterns. This is not weakness. This is growth. You are changing internally before your external world reflects it. And that process can feel uncomfortable. It feels confusing. It feels slow. But it is necessary. Do not rush your healing. Healing that is rushed is shallow. Do not force progress. Forced growth cracks foundations. What feels slow to you is precise in its own perfect timing. Sometimes life reveals truth not to break you but to free you. Sometimes what feels like loss is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like delay is alignment. You may be noticing that conversations feel empty. That places feel heavy. That routines feel suffocating. That people you once felt close to now feel distant. This is not ingratitude. This is your spirit outgrowing its environment. When your spirit grows, your surroundings must change. And if they do not, discomfort quietly begins. This discomfort is not punishment. It is direction. Life uses gentle discomfort to move you. It makes wrong places feel wrong so you will seek the right ones. Growth often begins as misalignment. Feeling out of place. Feeling unseen. Feeling like you no longer belong where you are. This misalignment is not failure. It is preparation. Just as truth gently revealed a new path for that person, truth may be gently revealing things in your life. Not all revelation is dramatic. Some revelation happens quietly, through loss of interest, loss of peace, loss of attachment. Pay attention to what no longer feels right. Pay attention to where your energy is draining. Pay attention to what requires you to shrink. A new season is approaching you, dear one. Not loudly, not suddenly, but steadily. Bringing clarity, bringing strength, bringing alignment. Support will come from unexpected places. Opportunities will arrive that you did not chase. Good things will appear that do not match your current circumstances. This is not luck. This is readiness meeting timing. Everything you have survived is connecting. Every delay, every disappointment, every quiet tear. One day you will look back and understand why it all happened the way it did. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing was meaningless. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Trust this process. Trust this pace. Trust what is being removed and what is being delayed. You are becoming stronger, wiser, clearer. Not unchanged, but transformed. Speak life over yourself. Release what no longer fits. Receive what is coming. Your breakthrough is not a possibility. It is already moving toward you. Be patient with yourself, dear one. Your season is shifting. Dear one, stay with me. Do not disconnect now. The story has not ended. Because the impact of truth does not stop at the moment it is revealed. Truth continues to move. It continues to rearrange. It continues to separate what cannot go forward from what must. After they closed that notebook, the world did not suddenly explode. There were no sirens, no dramatic music, no crowd gathering. Just a person sitting calmly, hands resting, staring ahead, breathing, truly alive in that moment. Growth does that, dear one. It does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it leaves you peacefully between who you were and who you are becoming. Questions may form. Not loud ones. Quiet, gentle ones. How long have I carried this? How often did I ignore my own peace? How many moments did I push through when I should have rested? And the most gentle question of all, what am I ready to release now? That question visits many hearts, dear one. But hear me carefully now because this part matters. Not seeing your own need for change does not mean you were foolish. It means you were human. It means you were doing your best. The grace of growth never belongs to those who never struggled. It belongs to those who kept going. As they sat in the quiet, the same room looked different. The same light felt warmer. The same space now felt open. Even though nothing had moved, something invisible had arrived. Peace. Trust. Freedom. This is what release really does, dear one. It does not just change your situation. It changes your breath. It makes you trust your own inner voice again. That is why this message is not about fear. It is about discernment. It is about understanding seasons. It is about recognizing when life is protecting you by revealing what you did not ask to see. Now let me bring this closer to you. You may not be holding an old notebook. You may be standing at the edge of a realization. Something you trusted may be showing cracks. A belief you held may be revealing a different pattern. Or maybe it is not a belief at all. Maybe it is a job, a lifestyle, a version of yourself that no longer fits. You may feel unsettled lately, like something is shifting beneath the surface. This is not random. This is awareness awakening. Do not ignore that feeling, dear one. It is not anxiety. It is not confusion. It is discernment developing. When you are prepared for a new season, your awareness sharpens first. You begin to see what you once tolerated. You begin to feel what you once ignored. That person did not go looking for change. Change found them. In the same way, you are not forcing change. Change is finding you. And yes, the moment truth reveals itself, it can feel unsettling. But discomfort does not mean destruction. Sometimes discomfort is redirection. Gentle, necessary, life-giving redirection. After the quiet settles, clarity begins to rise. Slowly, quietly. You begin to understand what must stay and what must go. You begin to see why certain things cannot travel with you into your next chapter. Hear me now, dear one. Not everything that ends was meant to last. Some things were meant to teach you. Some seasons were meant to prepare you, not define you. If something is falling away from your life right now, do not immediately assume you are losing. Sometimes what is falling away was holding you back. Sometimes release is renewal. You may feel alone in this process. You may feel misunderstood. You may feel like no one sees how hard this transition is for you. But you are not unseen. You are being guided. Growth often feels like gentle grief because you are saying goodbye to who you used to be. You are releasing versions of life that no longer match your spirit. That feels tender even when it is right. Do not rush yourself through the season. Do not pressure yourself to be okay quickly. Healing that is real takes time. Alignment that lasts is built slowly. In the same way, you may be gently grieving something. A dream. A connection. A version of your future you imagined. Let yourself feel that. Feeling is not weakness. It is acknowledgement. And after acknowledgement comes strength. You will begin to feel lighter. Not because nothing changed, but because you are no longer carrying what was never yours to carry. You will begin to breathe deeper. Think clearer. Stand firmer. This is what happens when truth enters gently. Dear one, I need you to understand this clearly now. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not being stripped. You are being refined. You are not being delayed. You are being aligned. What you are walking away from cannot follow you. What is leaving was not built for where you are going. Trust the process even when it feels uncertain. Trust the clarity even when it costs you comfort. Trust the ending even when you do not yet see the beginning. What comes next will be cleaner, quieter, stronger, more honest. Built on clarity, not confusion. Built on peace, not performance. Your next chapter will not require you to ignore your intuition. It will not ask you to shrink. It will not survive on pretending. Be patient now. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Stay honest with yourself. This is not the end. This is the clearing. And your life is about to be rebuilt on truth. Dear one, remain here with me. Do not step away yet. The clearing has happened, but rebuilding does not begin in noise. It begins in stillness. After truth gently arrives, after old patterns loosen, there is always a quiet space where life begins its real work. That space may feel empty, but it is not void. It is prepared ground. After the questions slow down, after the heart feels steady, something else begins to surface. Awareness. not suspicion. Awareness. A calm knowing replaces confusion. Strength does not arrive as confidence. It arrives as resolve. A quiet decision inside you that says, I will not betray myself by pretending I have not grown. This is important, dear one, because self-betrayal hurts longer than any external change. Many people survive old habits but lose themselves by denying their own growth. Choose peace over pretense. Choose reality over comfort. And that choice, though it may feel hard, will save your future. In the days that follow, memories may come in waves. Good ones, tender ones, moments that now feel different with new eyes. This is normal. When truth enters, it replays the past with new understanding. But listen carefully. Revisiting the past is not meant to trap you there. It is meant to release you from it. You are not reliving to suffer. You are remembering to grow. Detachment does not mean bitterness. It means clarity without emotional chains. It means learning without clinging. It means honoring what was real while letting go of what no longer serves you. Now bring this back to yourself, dear one. You may be in this exact phase where things are making sense in hindsight. Where you are saying, now I understand why I felt uneasy. That understanding is not meant to fill you with regret. It is meant to sharpen your wisdom. Wisdom is not knowing everything in advance. Wisdom is learning deeply and moving forward differently. As that person rebuilt their days, they noticed something unexpected. Peace. Not constant happiness. Peace. A quiet steadiness that did not depend on anyone else's behavior. Peace that came from alignment. Even in transition, peace can exist when you stop pretending. This is what alignment does, dear one. It may not remove every uncertainty immediately, but it removes confusion. And clarity is the foundation of peace. You are being called into this same clarity. Not to replay conversations endlessly, but to stand honestly within yourself. To say, I see clearly now, and to trust what you see. Trust does not mean trusting everything and everyone blindly again. It means trusting your discernment, trusting your inner signals, trusting that discomfort has a purpose. As you step into this clearer season, certain things may fade naturally, not through conflict, through distance. Old habits loosen. Old connections may feel different. This is not abandonment. This is alignment doing its work. When you change your frequency, not everything can stay connected. Do not chase what is drifting. What is meant to stay will adjust. What cannot adjust will leave peacefully. That person did not seek revenge on their old self. They did not explain themselves endlessly. They simply chose not to carry what was false into their future. That is power. Quiet power. You are being taught the same lesson. Power does not always raise its voice. Sometimes it simply releases. If you are feeling tired lately, it is because growth consumes energy. If you are feeling sensitive, it is because your awareness is expanding. If you are feeling alone, it is because you are transitioning between versions of your life. Transitions feel quiet because the old no longer fits and the new has not fully arrived. This space is uncomfortable, but it is sacred. Do not fill this space with noise. Do not rush into replacements. Do not settle into distractions. Sit here. Let clarity settle. Let truth anchor. That person eventually understood something crucial. Releasing what was false made space for what could be real. A future not built on pretending. Relationships not built on performance. A life not built on compromise of self. You are being led toward the same kind of future. What comes next will not require you to overlook red flags. It will not ask you to silence your intuition. It will not demand that you shrink to keep peace. It will meet you at your clarity, not below it. But before that arrives, you must honor this space of rebuilding. This is where boundaries form. This is where self-respect stabilizes. This is where discernment matures. Be patient with this process. Do not judge yourself for moments of quiet sadness. Do not criticize yourself for missing what you left. Missing does not mean returning. It means you are human. That person missed what they thought they had, not what truly was. And in time, that distinction healed them. You will reach this understanding too. One day you will look back and feel gratitude for the clarity you once resisted. You will recognize that the ending you felt was the beginning you needed. Stay steady. Stay honest. Stay grounded. This clearing was necessary. And what grows here next will be rooted in truth. Dear one, stay present. The rebuilding is still unfolding, and this part is just as important as the releasing. Many people misunderstand this stage. They think once truth is revealed, everything should immediately feel better. But healing does not rush to comfort you. Healing first teaches you how to stand. As days passed for that person, they noticed something subtle but powerful. Their body began to relax. Not because the transition disappeared, but because the tension of pretending was gone. They no longer had to question their instincts. They no longer had to silence their inner voice. The war inside them ended the moment they accepted the truth fully. This is what acceptance really is, dear one. It is not approval of what happened. It is agreement with reality. And reality, once accepted, stops draining your energy. You may be fighting this stage right now. Part of you wants to move on quickly. Another part wants answers that will never satisfy. Another part still hopes things could somehow return to how they were. This inner conflict is normal. But listen carefully. Peace does not come from answers. Peace comes from alignment. That person realized they did not need every question answered to move forward. They needed self-respect restored. And that restoration began when they stopped negotiating with what had already shown its true face. You are learning the same lesson. Some truths do not require further investigation. They require decision. As they rebuilt their routine, simple things felt strange at first. Mornings felt quiet. Evenings felt long. Familiar habits felt empty. This is what happens when a chapter closes after years. The space it leaves feels unnatural at first. But that space is not meant to stay empty. It is meant to be filled differently. Do not rush to fill your empty spaces, dear one. Empty does not mean broken. Empty means available. Many people fill emptiness with distractions, noise, or explanations. But doing that delays real healing. Real healing happens when you allow space to exist without panicking. That person allowed the silence to teach them. In that silence, they learned who they were without constant compromise. They learned what peace felt like without performance. They learned that being alone is not the same as being lonely. You may be discovering this too. You may notice that you are becoming more selective, less reactive, less willing to tolerate confusion. This is not hardness. This is clarity forming. Clarity often feels like distance to those who benefited from your lack of boundaries. As time moved forward, their perspective shifted. They no longer asked, "Why did this happen to me?" They began asking, "What did this save me from?" That shift is powerful. It turns transition into wisdom. You will reach this shift too. One day you will understand that exposure was protection, that delay was redirection, that release was renewal. But until then, honor where you are. Do not shame yourself for feeling uncertain. Do not criticize yourself for feeling tired. Growth is gentle, dear one. And so are you.